Wee. And that on there like that. That means I'm up and ready. Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about the science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world it will be. Daughter's watching. That's good. And you're sharing the video. Even better. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing the video. Let's hope we get a lot of people to talk about a subject which we should know a lot about. The subject of school. I think there'll be a lot of things to talk about. A good subject. A subject that a lot of people can relate to. Because they go to school. Go to school. College. University. Perhaps they are now working. People are working in schools. Teachers. What do we think of schools? They're rather useful, aren't they? We need schools for our education. To learn things, make us clever. Let's see what sort of comments we're going to get. Do people like schools? Do we like the system? Are schools fun? Are schools horrible? Is there a better way we can educate ourselves or be educated? Would we be better off learning from home? We all have laptops, computers, internet. Would we be better off learning at home rather than at a school? Schools have big advantages. You make friends at school. You're more likely to be in a better working environment. Working at home is not so good. You have distractions. You have family and friends. Television, music, internet, Facebook. All these distractions could stop you from learning at home. Good afternoon, Kung. Good to see you. And thank you again for joining in with our topic today, schools. How are you today? I hope you're good like me. Schools. We need them. Do we? Is there another way of getting an education? Vanessa, thank you for joining in. Hope you're fine. Hope you're enjoying it. And join in with our subject of school. Very good, Kung. You're fine. That means you're up for it. And hopefully you can contribute to our topic today, which is schools. Schools, university, college, school pupils, school teachers. Hi, oh, you're so nice. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. I do appreciate it, Lynn. And how are you today? I hope you're happy to join in our topic of schools. We all go to school. Almost every country in the world, we go to school. And again, almost every country in the world, education is a right. Education is standard. You are expected, children are expected to go to school. While the adults are out there working, children need an education. We all need an education, no matter how old you are. But the best time to learn things is when you're young. Then you can prepare yourself for the big wide world out there. Practice, Vanessa, practice. You will get better, believe me. Practice makes perfect. You will be good. Keep trying. Keep attending English classes. You will be good. I'm sure you will. Yen, lovely to see you, Yen. Thank you for joining in. We're talking about schools, Yen, and I hope you can contribute and join in. Anything about schools. Your experiences. Do you like school? Hello, how are you today? How are you today? Are you fine? Are you good like me? Good evening. Good evening to you. From Vietnam, past 9 o'clock. England, actually still in the afternoon. It's gone 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's good. I'm pleased you're going to follow, and I hope it is of great benefit to you. I hope you're able to learn words, listen to me, understand me. I'm a native speaker. I can only speak English. I only know very little of Vietnamese words. Not enough to hold a conversation. I'm fine, Yen, but you're tired. Now, why is that? Hello! Hello, Nam. How are you? I hope you're going to join in with our topic today, schools. Yen, you're tired. I know it's evening. Have you had a busy day? Maybe you've had a busy day today. Ah, that's why you studied. So hold on, Yen, you studied. Joe, you have worked overtime. So, of course, you're tired. Think about the extra money if you're working overtime. Presumably, you're working for money. Yeah, today's topic is about school. Wow, Hung! Oh, we've reached Hung, and I'm so pleased. The lovely Hung, she's my lovely niece, and I'm so happy that you're joining in this. It's a live stream topic. We're talking about school. Hung, you're a teacher. I hope you can join in and give us some, share some thoughts about your teaching, your school, when you were a pupil, when you were a teacher. I can talk briefly about my vacation because it's not the subject we're talking about. I've been to Vietnam 9 times. That's not the most I've been to any country. Thailand 15 times. I travel mostly to Southeast Asia. I have been to North Africa, Europe and America as well. I have, as a matter of fact, in Vietnamese school, I have been a guest teacher at the Hanoi University of Industry, plus their Let Club, which is their after-school English club. I've also taught at Langmaster Club, Langmaster on Sunday mornings. That was good fun. You're feeling better. You're feeling good watching me. It's nice to know that I can make you feel better without any medicine. You can understand 50%. Maybe I should talk slower. Sorry about that. I shall talk slower, but the messages are coming through rather fast. I need to answer every one of them. We can talk about university as well. School, university, the places of education. School, university. Do you have college in Vietnam? College. Similar to university. You can only improve your listening skills too by keep listening. Keep listening to people. People talking English. How to teach English well. Obviously, you need training to be an English teacher in the first place. It's okay speaking English, but to teach it is different, a different situation. You have an up-and-coming exam. The best advice I can give you is to keep listening. If it's your listening skills you feel are letting you down, keep listening to English speaking. Go on YouTube. Listen to English speaking. It could be songs, television programs, movies, the news. Listen to the news on CNN, BBC. That's good for learning English. You have clear English speakers reading the news. While you're listening to people speaking English, like me, I hope you are learning new words as well. If you are, make a note of them. Look them up in a dictionary after we finish talking, of course. That will be good. More words for you to learn, I hope. Yes, that's it. You went out of university and come back into it. It's worth staying. It's worth getting as much education as possible, especially nowadays with unemployment all over the world. Try and do that. Get a good job. Is it difficult listening to BBC or CNN? I'm sorry about that. Try. Just try. Keep up with them. Maybe they speak fast. Unless you want to find another way of listening to English speaking. Hello, son. How are you? Thank you for joining in. Join in and sharing as well. You're sharing this video. Thank you for that. Get some more people. No problem, Nam. Good luck to you. And you're fine as well. Thank you. That's good. I'm fine too. Yes, I hear different things about English teaching in Vietnam. Concentrate on grammar. You have to build a sentence. Know how to speak a sentence. When it comes to listening, maybe they're leaving that to you to do that. Do you live near Hong Kim Lake? Do you go there? That's good to talk to a foreigner around Hong Kim Lake. If they talk fast, tell them to slow down, please, because you are learning English. I'm sure they'll help you. That's right, Yen. A lot of things. We can learn a lot of things at university. What do you want to learn? What are your favourite subjects? I'm happy to help, Tuin. Tuin is my son. I'm happy to help people so much. And you're welcome, Tom. You do. You study a lot of things, Yen, at university. A lot of things, and I think you like to study medical work for your future job. So I hope you'll learn a lot of that, and English, of course. Well, the beauty of YouTube, Gio, is you can play it again and again until you do learn. It sounds like good. It sounds good. You can understand. And then if you don't understand anything, or you feel the reason to play it back again, you can do that. Practice talking like they do. Get your pronunciations right. Pronunciation is hard. When I try to pronounce Vietnamese names and words, I'm sure I get it wrong. It's not easy, I sympathise with you, but try. Listen to English speakers and copy the pronunciation. You like everything there, Yen. You're a clever girl. You like everything, and the subjects you study will help you when you graduate, which is, of course, important. Sounds like you are doing subjects, learning subjects, all related to your future job, which in your case is the medical profession, a nurse. And I hope you get on well, pass your exams, get some good marks, good scores. And that applies to everybody who is still at school or in university. Many people go on to university in Vietnam. That's a good thing. Is that because you want to carry on your education? Is it because there is a job shortage? You're worried that if you leave school and go out in the big wide world, maybe you won't get a job. Going to university, getting degrees, high exams will increase your chances of getting a job. Your patients will benefit too, Yen, you are right. Your patients will be lucky to have you as their nurse. I don't know too much about Ho Chi Minh City, Kung. An ancient school. For the gifted. Do you like it? Do you like it there, Kung? Are you happy, satisfied with the school? With the teachers? The fellow students? Two, you are right. I know somebody in that situation. A lot of people, a lot of girls in particular, whose major is accounting in the Hanoi University of Industry. But there are some who don't become accountants. They cannot get accountants' jobs after they graduate. They're likely to get office jobs, working in an office, doing other work, not accountancy. And sometimes, in fact most of the time, they get used to that sort of work and they're happy to do it. But it's not what they wanted. They wanted to be accountants. And the same can be said to a lot of people who got their mind on jobs which they want to do, but end up not doing. For the very young people, Hang, welcome, Hang, 3 to 5, I think you need to teach them words before you teach them sentences. They need to know the words. They need to be familiar with names. You can, a lot of the time, especially 3-year-olds, you can be holding up pictures. I've done this before to children that age. Holding up pictures of animals, people, members of the family, houses, rooms in the house, anything in everyday life. Hold a picture up. Here is a bus, a car. That's how you do it to begin with. And then, when they're familiar with the words, then construct a sentence. Get these children of 3 to 5 years old saying, this is a bus. That is my brother. That is a man. Things like that. It's easy to begin with, but you've got to start somewhere. I do, Gio. I am surprised how many universities there are. I think your country treats education very seriously, which is a good thing. It's important to do so. If I'm right in saying education is free, at least up until the end of high school, which is the same in England as well. The same thing can be said in over in my country, UK. Education is free right up until university, where you had to pay, and you pay a lot of money. So you're very satisfied with the way things are going, Kung, with your school. They helped you. You must like the teachers. And your training for your future job. Very good. That's good. And you're happy with the school. They have helped you. And that's important. Important that they do that to everybody. What is your job, Nam? What job do you do? Yeah, you can get into a career by accident. There's no doubt about it. Sometimes you could be forced into a career by accident. Perhaps that's not an accident, though. Here I am going back to the situation where these accountants, graduated accountants, are doing other work because they can't get jobs as accountants. That's just an example. I'm sure that applies to other people who have tried working in other jobs, other professions, but cannot get that work due to the high demand of people wanting to do that sort of job. It must make you sad, unhappy, that you're doing a job which you never set out to do. But once you've given it a chance, once you're actually working, earning money, you might like that work. And given the fact you're a university student a university graduate, that might give you a chance perhaps to have a promotion, do well with the company, earn more money. In the meantime, you can also take a job, earning money, but look around. Keep looking for the job which you want to do, the job which you set your mind on doing in the first place. That's worth doing, especially if you're unhappy where you're working. I hope that's a rare occurrence, especially with the people who I know, who are on here at the moment. But when we talk about schools and universities, what makes the school is the students and the teachers. It is important to have good teachers. Not all the time do we get good teachers. But if you ask the teachers, they might say, we don't always get good pupils. We don't always get good students. I get the impression that students in Vietnam pay attention in class. They want to learn. You want to learn these subjects in these lessons, be it school, especially university, because you're paying for that. But in schools, you see it all around the world, especially in countries in my part of the world, Western world. Countries like the UK, America. Sadly, there are children who don't want to learn. They go to school, they have to, but they want to disrupt the class lessons. They're not interested in learning. They just want to keep talking to their friends, just showing off, being disruptive, being rude. In that situation, I do very much feel sorry for the teacher, because he or she has to try and control the class, to try and get them all listening and quiet so you can have the lesson. I also feel sorry for these students who want to learn, who want to learn things in this lesson, but can't because of the selfishness of people who don't want to. They don't want to learn. Very unfair, and it does go on. Hopefully not in Vietnam. Or does it? When you're at school, not everybody likes all the subjects. We've all got favourite subjects. When you're at school, you had to do, especially at the beginning, you had to do all the subjects. Maybe you don't like history or geography, maths or math. You might not like some of that either. It covers a lot of subjects, math does. Have you heard of algebra? I never liked it. It's a form of mathematics. Geometry, the study of angles. I had to study this at school, and since I left school a long time ago, I've never had to use it. Never had to use any of that at all. Just the basic math. Adding, subtraction, multiply, divide. That's all. And I think you'll find that goes for almost everybody. Just the basic. What are your favourite subjects? Are you still doing your favourite subjects? Are your favourite subjects beneficial to your career? Ha! Good to see you. Thank you for joining in, Ha. So happy that you're joining in. And I hope you can contribute to our topic today, which is about schools. How are you? Are you okay? Are you feeling good? And thank you to all you people, Mr. Ching, and everybody else who is sharing this video to get some more people to join in about our topic about schools. So schools. We go to school, obviously when we're young. You have preschool when you're very little, don't you? Very little. It's afternoon, huh? And it's well, it's well past 3 o'clock now. I'm 6 hours. England, UK is 6 hours behind Vietnamese time, which means if we are 3:31 p.m, you are 9:31 p.m. 9:31 in Vietnam. Preschool, also known as kindergarten. Kindergarten. Say it properly. Kindergarten. That's better. Kindergarten. It's a German word used in the English language for preschool, little children. And then in England we have infant schools, 4 to 7 year olds, junior schools, 7 till 11 year olds. But I believe you guys, you call it primary schools. They are primary school, which is the same thing. So we have that, primary school. And then from 11 years old to 16, we have comprehensive school. Comprehensive in the UK, you call it high school. Like America, high school. After that, we have what's known between 16 and 18 year old. We have what used to be known as sixth form. Sixth form. I believe it still is known as that. It's like a college in between school and university, if anybody moves on to university. Some people, a lot of people in fact, leave school when they're 16, maybe leave when they're 18, or if they're clever enough, stay on to university until they're in their early 20s. Like a lot of you people do. Aha! Computer science. I should imagine, Kung, that is a popular subject because a lot of people nowadays are into IT, computers, and if you can get a job on that side of things, in that industry, you've got a good job. It's a good job. It will always be there. It's important. And I hope you get it. Good luck with that, Kung. Once again, thank you for sharing the video, all you people that are doing this. And Nu Mei, hello, hello. Thank you for joining in. I hope you can contribute to our topic, which is about schools. Would anybody like to share their experience of schools? Do you like school? Do you not like school? What is your favourite subject? Who is your favourite teacher? Would you rather learn at home? Would you rather say, I don't want to go to school. I've got a laptop. I've got the internet. I've got websites. I've got all the knowledge in front of me on my laptop. Let me learn what I want to learn. It's not a good idea, but has anybody considered that? While you're doing that, you've got no teacher to help you. You're just learning off a web page. Do you always want a teacher to help you? Of course they're going to be good. That's why they're teachers. Can they always help you? Do they have time to help you? Teachers are busy. You're not the only person they're teaching. They teach lots of students. The more they teach, the harder it is to give the individual, to deal with the individual and personal need of one student. I always think classes are too big. In England, the average size class for what you would call primary and high school is 30 students. In some cases, in big cities, maybe even more. I think the best lessons, the best education is when there is few of you. Hello, my Han. Please, I'm so pleased you're joining in. Very pleased. Okay, my friend. You wish to choose your university again. Does that mean that you are unhappy with your choice of university? You don't like it there? If you don't, why? And what university would you prefer to go to? That must be sad, because you're spending, how long? 4 years, isn't it? 4 years at the university. What year are you in at the university? Is it too late to change? What is the situation? Do you have to pay again? You might have to pay again to learn at another university. I hope the reasons are not that bad. I don't know that one, transport and communication. I haven't been there. I presume you don't like it, which is why you wish you could change again. Choose another one. Look into it. Maybe you can. Find out whether you can or not. But a lot of it depends how long you've been at this university. Whether you are financially penalised. That means you had to pay the other university. Yes, it should, Ham. Your government is representing everybody in your country, not just in the big towns and cities, everywhere, rural areas, villages. That's their job. They should be looking after the whole population of Vietnam, and therefore, if you're going to invest in certain areas in Vietnam, that is unfair. You should invest all over. Invest everywhere. Your government might say, well, hold on, the universities are in Hanoi. Let's give Hanoi a lot more money. Ho Chi Minh has universities. Let's put money in their direction. But then the people who attend these universities are from all over Vietnam. So they should be helped. There should be financial help, investment to all children. I'm sorry if that doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, I think it's wrong. I think it should. And hopefully, if it doesn't already, I hope one day it will happen. So, schools and universities, I always think back to my school days when I was a student, a child. A good teacher, you have a good chance of getting a good exam result with a good teacher. And if you have less people, less students in your class, an even better chance. Hi, Kaka Ricardo. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. We're talking about schools, and I took a subject, music, when I was young. I'd done a 2-year course between the ages of 14 and 16 in my last 2 years of what we call secondary school, you call high school. It was me, 6 other students, a good teacher, and we all passed our high exam, which in those days was called a GCE O-level. Within the last 20 years, the name has changed to GCSE. That is the high exam that you get, that you can try for when you're at high school, secondary school. How are you, Ricardo? You okay? Do you want to share any thoughts about your school or your university, your education? So all of you, are you happy in general about your education? Could it be better? Are you happy with your teachers? Could they be better, or are they good enough? Have they been very helpful to you? Helped you achieve success in exams? Perhaps move on to a career after you have graduated at uni? One thing I was surprised at when I got to know about the education system in Vietnam is that you have a Teacher's Day, a day during the week, once a year, in which you thank your teacher. You show appreciation to your teacher or teachers on that day. You give them gifts, perhaps a card. Now that sort of thing doesn't happen in England, in the UK, but at the end of term, at the end of the school year rather, you might get some children or even parents of children who might send a thank you card. A card, like a birthday card, or we have Christmas cards in December. But this is a card which you sign and thank your teacher for helping you and being very good, being a good teacher during that school year. It's not a popular thing. It doesn't happen often enough, which is a shame, because I gather it does in Vietnam. It's nice to be appreciated, and I'm sure the teachers really do feel good, really do feel wanted. They feel like they're in the right profession, They are, it's nice to be appreciated in general, no matter what you do. And to have a Teachers' Day like you do in Vietnam, where the students are thanking the teacher for what they do, is very nice. A great idea. But as we know, not all teachers, we're not happy with all of our teachers. Some teachers we think, not as good. I wish they would teach us this, I wish they would teach us that. Why does he or she keep going on about the same thing all the time? I'm bored, let's move on. Everybody's got their different ways. Some are better than others, some are appreciated more than others. Hello mate, Mei Chang. Mei Chang, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Lovely to see you. How are you? Do you want to share any thoughts? Anything about schools? Schools. Your favourite lesson? Your favourite teacher? The benefits of school. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? Disadvantages? Not really. You don't go to school, you don't learn anything. If you want to be clever, look on the internet. Good luck to you. It's nice to be able to talk about a subject rather than just look in front of a screen, look at a website all the time. Have someone talk with you. Somebody who knows what they're talking about, studied that subject, a proper teacher. That's what you want. That's what will help you. And you're young, when you're learning at a young age, that is the best time to learn. You learn more when you're younger. And it sets you up for the rest of the rest of your life. Once you stop learning, once you leave the education system, be it school or university, there's a big wide world out there. You had to say to yourself, am I fit for it? Am I going to be okay? Do I know enough to get out there and make my mark in a company? Make sure you do. Feel confident when you leave, when you graduate. Try to stay on for university. Learn as much as you can. Favourite subjects, anyone? Favourite subjects? Favourite teachers? Any good experiences in school? Are you happy with your school or your university? Or like our friend early on, wishes that he'd changed? Do many of you do additional education? Do you carry on, like with English for instance, do you carry on learning English outside of school hours? Do you attend an English centre in the evenings, at weekends, school holidays? I'm so pleased that a lot of you guys, all you guys in fact, who are watching this, you're all learning English, and I'm sure most of you are better than what you think you are. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. I am trying to talk slow, but not too slow. It makes me happy to know I can do something like this. I can do a live stream to lovely people, because this wouldn't happen if you didn't want to learn English. Your parents, definitely your grandparents, for them, English wasn't important. They didn't have to learn English when they was at school, when they were at work. Things are different now. Times have changed. The world is getting smaller. Your country, Vietnam, has got even. You've got a lot of foreign investment. And when you've got foreign investors coming to open factories, offices, you have to remember that your customers, most of your customers, are likely to speak English, either as a first language, like me, or maybe a second language, like a lot of Europeans. French, German, Spanish people, Italian. Many people have their own language, but a lot of people speak English as a second language. In the UK, the most common foreign language taught in schools is French. I studied French to begin with. Then, when I got to my last 2 years of what you call high school, I had a choice of lessons, a choice of subjects to take. Sadly, I had no room for French or any language. I was more interested in the arts, art, music. They were my favourite subjects: art, music, English, of course, geography, economics. Good subjects, and I'm pleased to say good teachers. I'm sure you will agree with me. A good teacher can help you through an exam. Your best chance of getting that happening would be if there is a small class size. Not too many students in the class. How many students are there in the class in Vietnam? I suppose that varies. Does that vary? Some lessons have a lot of people. Some lessons, not so many. It depends what your major is, especially in university. What your major is, what job you want to do when you leave, when you graduate. What do we think? Do we miss school? Anybody who's left school, graduated from uni, do we miss it? You're out there in a big wide world. You're working. You're earning money. Yeah, very good. But don't you look back and think, oh, I wish I was still at school. Wish I was still at university again. I remember the good times that we had, the people I met, the accommodation, the room sharing. I hope many of you, a lot of you are younger people, I hope many of you do keep in touch even. Keep in touch, stay friends with your school friends, your university friends. It's easy to do it now with social media, especially Facebook. Wow, 37 million plus pupils, students. But then you have Vietnam has a high population. You're a rather large country, a large population, and 37 million pupils and students. Oh, it sounds a lot, but spread over your land, perhaps it won't be so much. But if you've got that many pupils, students, you need lots of teachers. I should imagine the teaching profession is rather popular to get into. They probably want lots of teachers. Yes, my hand. 37 million, yes. Obviously, the workforce is made up mostly of Vietnamese people, especially when it comes to the education system. But what about foreign people to help learn English, help teach English? I'm sure a lot of mostly English centres, but probably university as well, maybe even schools, would like to employ a native speaker. A native speaker, I think, would be better off in a university situation, because that native English speaker is highly unlikely to know any Vietnamese language. So he or she would be better off dealing with students who have been learning English for a few years, with a bit more experience. In other words, not newcomers. Does anybody know what PE is? PE, 2 letters, stand for physical education. Every school year, every pupil at school, student, has PE lesson, physical education. You do exercises. You play sports. Some people might think it's fun. Others maybe not. A different sort of lesson. You're not having to use your school books, look on the internet, do any writing. And at the same time, you're doing exercise. Some people may not be doing exercise at a young age. Too busy learning. Yes. Yes, my hand. PE includes sport. It's generally speaking, PE is exercise. Physical education. Exercise. It can involve sport as well. My PE lessons, mostly exercise, but sometimes they would take us out in the field and the boys would play football. May even play a game called rounders. Now, rounders, are you people familiar with the American game baseball? Baseball with the bat, throw the ball, and then start running. Well, that game originated in England many years ago, centuries ago. century, and it was called rounders. But America, being America, changed the name to baseball, threw a lot of money and made it a very glamorous sport with cheerleaders, television rights, and now it's been a popular sport now for many years. A lot of people around the world follow American baseball. When I had a holiday in the Philippines some time ago, they were watching it. They like American sports, baseball, basketball. That's the sort of thing that you're likely to play in British PE lessons. Hello! Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. What do you think about school? That's the subject. Schools. Talk about your experience at schools, universities. Oh, that's all right. Thank you for joining. I think we'll let you off being late, especially as you said sorry. But it's always good to have your company and for you to join in. School. Do we like school? Do we not like it? What is our experience of school? Did we like our fellow students? Did we like the teachers? Were we happy at the end of the school day, thinking, oh, at last it's finished, I can go home now? But wait, don't you do homework? Don't these teachers give you homework? They should do. So your education has not ended once your final lesson finishes. You go home, make sure you do your homework for the next day. Don't do it in front of your laptop or your TV screen, unless of course you need that for your information. Again, you people are lucky. You people are lucky that you have the internet. All you young people, if you're still students at school or university, any form of help that you want can come from the internet. When I was young, when I was at school, we didn't have internet. I had to go to the library, look up books. We had encyclopedias. Encyclopedia. An encyclopedia was a group of big volume, big books, big thick books. Books of knowledge. They had to be updated every year. But we would go into a library, maybe buy them, perhaps buy a book of knowledge, encyclopedia, and have a look. Look up the subjects that you're studying, that your homework may involve, and get information from it. You don't do it nowadays. You don't need encyclopedias like my generation did. You have the internet. Google the subject. Click on it. Then all those lovely websites come up, hopefully to help you. Oh, I wish there was internet when I was young and at school. But never forget, while this is going on, you also have a teacher who is qualified to teach in that subject. Teachers should make themselves available, should be able to answer your question in school time, of course, to help you answer your questions. You do your homework, bring it in the next day, Hopefully it's good. If it's not up to standard, then the teacher should say why. What has gone wrong? Why it's not as good as it should be. We learn by our mistakes in all of life, all through life. We learn by our mistakes. But it's better to learn when you're young. Learn when you're young. Correct yourself. Be corrected. And then that sets you up for a good future. How many of you would like to get into the teaching profession? To all you students out there, especially if you're in university students, how many of you would like to be teachers? Probably English teachers, but any sort of teacher. Would you want to be a teacher or not? If you wouldn't want to be a teacher, why? And the same question, if you do want to be a teacher, why would people want to be teachers? Why would people, if asked, say, no, I don't want to be a teacher? Why? I should imagine it is, my friend. Chinese, a difficult language. So, obviously I've been taught Chinese at school or university. You're finding it difficult. Is it difficult compared with English? What is easier, English or Chinese? Are you learning Chinese the same way as you're learning English? Talking, listening, reading, writing. What else do we know about schools that you want to share? You want to share with me? All of us. School friends. It's okay going to school to learn. That's the main idea. Go to school, get an education, learn things, prepare yourself for life, for your future. But while we're there, we make friends. We probably make enemies as well. But everybody makes friends at school. There is the very sad situation, I'm not sure if it happens in Vietnam, but it does happen in the UK, where there can be bullying going on. You like learning English, and I'm pleased about that, very pleased, and I hope my live streaming can help you to learn English. And it's very hard for you, my friend, who's learning Chinese. Oh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I can only give you the same advice as I'm giving to everybody else. The more you try, the better you'll get. Practice makes perfect in everything. I'm sure you're good, Han, at English. I'm sure you're good. Nothing can be worse than having to go to school, perhaps not so much in university, but at school, knowing that when you get in that playground, when you get in that classroom, there's going to be some horrible children, pupils, who are going to make fun of you, be horrible to you, nasty. It does happen occasionally in England. Teachers try to do something about it, as obviously do the parents. But that can't be nice at all. That must be horrible. You don't feel like going to school in that situation. You want a good environment, a good atmosphere at school. And I hope everybody, teachers and pupils, can try and drill that in. Make that happen. Stop bullying. It's not nice, and it's certainly not clever. You're welcome. You're welcome to come to England. Please come to England. I'd love to see you. We can meet up. It'll be so good. That goes for everybody. If ever you get a chance to go to England, let me know. I'll meet you and hopefully maybe show you round. I can be your guide. In London, especially. How are we doing? Let's have some more about school and university. Your favourite subject. What is your favourite subject? What is your least favourite subject? The one you don't like, but you are doing. In my days at school, there were certain lessons we all had to do, like English and maths, PE, as I said, exercises. Also religion. We had to study religion. I wonder if that still goes on nowadays. Do you have religious studies, religious education in your school when you were there? Did anybody study religion when you were in university? Everything else was optional towards the end of my my high school. History, geography, all the sciences, chemistry, biology, physics, all optional. Languages like French and German. Oh yes, is he the sporty type? He likes to keep fit, does he? He's good enough to do the exercises that is involved in PE. Exercises, games, as I said, like football. My school, in common with all the other schools, had a gym, gymnasium, a gym. So some days we would just be doing on the floor exercises, standing, running around. Other days the equipment will come out. All the equipment will come out to practice our exercises on. How do you feel your English is? You're all learning English at school, at university. Do you think you are speaking it fluently? Do you think you could speak it better? Do you want to improve? Do you want to carry on learning English? To carry on learning English, learn new words, more experience, speaking fluently, I can recommend ENP English Centre in Hanoi. You will like it there. It's a good environment to learn English with good teachers and a nice, friendly, relaxed atmosphere. The teaching is good. so obviously you will learn more. I can recommend that. You love it. You love it. I love it. It's good. And also, my friend, thank you for joining in. Coming in, what are we going to say about our schools and universities? It's near enough what has been said. It's nearly all positives. Not too many negatives, I'm pleased to say. Perhaps you don't want to talk about the negatives in case the wrong sort of people get to find out. You don't want to say that a certain teacher is not nice. But it's human nature that we are going to get on. We're going to like some teachers better than others. I just hope the teachers you like are the teachers are from the subjects that you are learning that can help you in your future career. School holidays. Do you like school holidays? When I was young, we looked forward to school holidays. We used to think, oh good, we got a school holiday now. The system in England for holidays, and it's still the same now as it was when I was younger, is the school year starts in, I'm in England, my friend Han, I'm in England. English pronunciation in Vietnam is not well. That needs to be improved. We can work on that, can't we, people? Work on your pronunciation. Again, you can only do that by attending English classes, whether it's in your school, your university, or at an English centre. Keep practicing. The pronunciation will be better. Believe me. In England, the school year starts in September. I believe it's the same in Vietnam. And during the course of that year, from September right through to the following July, we have 13 weeks, 13 weeks holiday. They are 3 terms from September until December, and then we have 2 weeks Christmas holiday. From beginning of January until end of March, that's when the Easter holiday is. We have 2 weeks there. And then after that, the third and final term, which takes us from April up to July. In July, there is 6 weeks holiday. That's the end of the school year, 6 weeks holiday. In between the terms, we have what's known as a half-term holiday. A half-term holiday is 1 week. So 3 terms, 3 half-term holidays. You add the total of holidays up, it is 13. And do you think that's a lot of holiday? Is that more than what you have in Vietnam, in your Vietnamese schools and universities? Is it more? I like the school holidays. All the children did. But the 6 weeks holiday, I think a lot of students will admit was a bit too long. Perhaps a bit too long, and in a way you're probably glad to get back to school again in September. Go back to school, see your friends. But also school holidays, you might like to carry on learning during that time. Learning your favourite subjects, carry on learning English, go to an English centre, go to ENP English. So you can carry on learning even in the school holidays, university holidays, weekends. You can do that. Although I've told you the best time to learn to study anything is when you're young, we never stop learning. No matter how old you are, we're always learning things. Whether it be things in life in general, a small thing, a big worthwhile knowing thing. But the basics in life should be taught at school. Having said that, when I left school, I think being in a working environment with other people who are working, that gave me a bit more confidence. I built up confidence with common sense. I'm not dealing with people, students my age or younger anymore. I was at work, older people. And so I couldn't behave silly, childish. I had to be grown up. In a way, you do grow up more when you start working. You have to. You misbehave, you lose your job. But there's no doubt about it, we need an education to begin with. No education, we're nothing without it. We can't go out in a big wide world not knowing things. We won't get by. We got to know what we want, what we need. We need to know things about our future job. So 21.8 pupils go to school. So school in Vietnam, is that compulsory? You have to go to school. Is that right? If you don't go to school in England, the parents get into trouble. At the very worst, the parents could go to prison for stopping their children from going to school. Does that happen in Vietnam? Is it compulsory? Must it happen that all children go to school? Too early. What time does school start? Very soon. We'll start winding down now, but school starts roughly around the same time in England. Roughly around the same time. It could be any time between 8:30, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. They have a lunchtime break. They have a mid-morning break Lunchtime, of course. Have lunch. Schools can finish between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And all this is Monday to Friday, plus your school holidays. Does that happen in Vietnam? What time do the schools open there? And universities? Universities, I suppose you go in when it's your lesson. Okay, certainly, yes. Mihan, very good. Very good to you. Thank you very much for joining in and listening. Wishing you a good night. Hope to see you again another time. 10:30, yes. We're going to call it a day now. I'm going to call it an afternoon. You guys in Vietnam are going to call it a day. Oh, Wang, you're saying nice to meet you and I'm finishing. Oh, where have you been this last hour and a half? I'm so sorry, but we had to finish now. I'm not around tomorrow either, because I'm going to work. I hope you can be around on Saturday. I'd like to do some of this on Saturday. Don't know what the subject will be. I hope it's another interesting one. But more importantly, I hope you'll all be there. I hope you will all be there. But in the meantime, thank you for joining in. I do appreciate it. I'm so glad having your company. And I shall now let you go to bed or enjoy the rest of the evening by saying good night, sweet dreams, hope to see you again. Bye.